Today's video is a little different than what I planned. I wanted to give you a full review of my Jackrabbit e-bike, what I loved about it, what I didn't like about it, and how it transformed my daily routine. But unfortunately, I can't, because my Jackrabbit was stolen.
Life is good, life is good, yeah. Life is good, life is good, yeah. Yeah, in my darkest times, you got me feeling like.
So originally, I got the Jackrabbit e-bike because I needed a new form of transportation to get me from my apartment to my gym. My gym started to not allow its members to bring in one wheels, which is interesting, but story for another video. And the one wheel GT was my main method of transportation. So after learning this, I started searching for a small compact solution that can replace my one wheel. I needed something light, portable, and that can lock up to a bike rack. So I went on the search for a small portable electric e-bike. After many hours of research through Reddit, YouTube, Google, the Jackrabbit comes across my feed. It was a nifty little small electric bike that seemed to check all of my boxes. Ironically enough, it cost less than my one wheel GT and was actually even lighter than it, coming in at 26 pounds compared to 37 pounds on the one wheel. The only downside to it was that it had less range than my one wheel, but you can buy an extra spare battery and pretty much get the same range. Each battery gives you about 10 miles for the charge. So with 2 batteries, I'm getting about 20 miles right there. So I was able to pick up the Jackrabbit from a local bike shop here in Philadelphia. And while I only had the bike for about 2 to 3 months, I can easily say it was one of the most fun purchases that I have ever made. Even though it's gone, I still want to share my thoughts on this bike because it genuinely deserves recognition. The Jackrabbit is unlike anything I've ever ridden because it looks like a kid's bike that has the power of an electric bike and can give you this fun, exhilarating thrill when you're riding it. It's so easy to ride, it's comfortable even though it doesn't look like it, and it can get pretty fast. Top speed on it is 20 miles an hour, and once you hit that, it doesn't really let you go faster, which is one gripe I have about it. But let's be real, it's a small bike that only has a front brake, so you probably don't want to be going that fast on it, otherwise you just might flip over those handlebars. It's so compact, lightweight, it even goes flat so that you can easily store it in your car or on the train. It's made to be portable. I think originally it was made for your go-to college kid to ride around campus and maybe even bring into the classroom. It's just plain fun. I enjoy when it's a nice day outside, when I go to the gym, that I get to ride that bike to get to where I need to go. It gave me the freedom to get around town effortlessly, and I would get some eyeballs on this bike because while it's small and compact, it still stands out. I loved how easy it was to carry and store wherever I went. One time I had a shoot in New York City and I actually put the bike in the trunk of my car. I rode up and down Manhattan with 2 batteries and it was just so much fun. If you're a New Yorker, you've probably seen these bikers out there. They're on their big electric bikes, their gas bikes, and their city e-bikes. They're cruising pretty fast. I will say that I felt pretty comfortable in those bike lanes. While not as fast as those bigger, more powerful bikes, I held my own, and it was so fun and easy to get across town because these bikes are perfect for these city areas where they're so walkable and bikeable. Funniest part is when we're at a stoplight with these other bikers, and since the Jackrabbit's so small, I'm very low to the ground, and you'll see these other bikers, on their high bikes looking down. I had this one guy actually ask me, "How fast can you go?" And I was like, "Oh, 20 miles an hour." He quickly shot me down. He's like, "That's not enough for these streets." And I was like, I had no problems going down Manhattan all the way back up to Central Park with 2 batteries. It was a great time. Even though each battery is slated for about 10 miles on a full charge, I swear there's times where I've gotten a little bit more than that, which is a plus. Granted, I'm only 150 pounds and not on the heavier side, so take that as what you will. And keep in mind, Philadelphia is a relatively flat city. I think most cities are pretty flat for that reason. The design stood out in every way. I personally loved how cute it was because when people see it, it's a cute bike. It's small, it's not aggressive, it's not trying to be aggressive. I mean, it's called a Jackrabbit, like rabbits are cute. It's a cute bike that packs a punch and a surprise that nobody is ready for. To me, it felt and looked like a kid's bike combined with a mountain bike with the power of an e-bike. And when you combine all those together, it adds up to a really fun experience. Since it looks like a child's bike, I never thought that anybody would even consider stealing it. But of course, I was wrong. For those of you wondering how this happened, it started out with a normal day of me going to my gym, and I was supposed to play some pickleball, have a workout, sauna. That's usually my routine. It was a great day, the weather was nice. We won our pickleball matches. I had a great workout. I finish with the gym, it was about 2 hours since I got there, and I come down to the bike rack where I always lock my bike, and as I turn the corner, it's not there. And instantly, as like when that happens, your heart just drops and you're like, oh crap, it happened. My U-lock was still there and exactly where I left it, but the bike wasn't. So immediately I just knew that my bike got stolen. There was another person also unlocking his bike and he asked me, are you okay? And I was like, no, I think my bike just got stolen. And he was very empathetic with me. He's like, dude, I'm so sorry. I've had this happen to me like 2 other times now. And it just really, really sucks. Cause you think you did everything you could, but there are people out there that will not care for you and just care for themselves and take bikes to either sell or keep for themselves. Who knows? He did tell me what to do immediately. He told me to go to the security office, ask for the footage, file a report, get the police involved, and I did all of that. The police officer came out. Basically, he told me that now that he's gotten all the information, he's gonna put out this report to all the other officers that are on their patrol bikes. If they happen to see this person riding this bike based off the description I gave, then they'll take him down and lock him up. That's in a perfect world, but I think you and I can both agree that the chances of that happening are pretty slim. I mean, these guys are kind of professionals. I doubt they'll be riding the bike around the city. Maybe they had a team ready to throw it in the car and drive off. Maybe they're gonna flip it, sell it for parts. Who knows? I will keep an eye out on the third-party selling platforms like Facebook Marketplace or OfferUp. I don't think they're gonna get that far with the bike because they don't have the charger, which I guess they could look up and buy a charger. There was half a charge left on it, so I doubt they got that far. I don't know, it's kind of a niche bike. I accepted the fact that once it's gone, it's probably gone. The icing on the cake that really hurt me was that I did have a nice Peak Design bike mount on it where I would attach my phone, and it was a really nice mount. It was kind of pricey, like 80 bucks. And I just bought a new suspension seat post for the bike so that when you're like bouncing around on it, since it feels like a mountain bike, it would soften the cushion and just make it a more enjoyable, fun experience, which it was, but I literally just bought it, had it for maybe like 3 weeks, and that too was also kind of expensive. So now I'm out one of those. So that really hurt. Well, whoever stole that bike now has a really nice phone mount and a new suspension seat post, so you're welcome. So if there's anything that I've learned from this situation, it's that we all think worst case scenario won't ever happen to us, but sadly in this world, or depending where you live, it's not a matter of if it'll happen, it's kind of when it'll happen. So the best thing you can do is just prepare for it. I should have been more responsible in locking the bike, really locking it to the frame, or maybe getting a better lock, but in my defense, everybody says the U-locks are pretty good. I used to have an AirTag on my bike, but I took it off because what was I thinking? Also something else, that Peak Design phone mount, I would just leave it on there, but it's a very easy piece to just remove off the bike. It was annoying to always remove it anytime I parked it, but listen, if you care about your accessories, just take it off. Remove any accessories that you are gonna feel sad about if someone were to steal. It's worth the extra minute it takes after locking up your bike. This bike wasn't just a method of transportation for me. It became a part of my lifestyle. I used it to run errands, meet friends, go to the grocery stores, post office. I even used it to get around town to do my photo shoots, which was just so convenient because in the city of Philadelphia, or any city, it's annoying to always drive your car into the city, find parking, pay for parking, and go through traffic. With this bike, I could get to my location, not worry about sweating since it's an e-bike, and just lock it up, do the shoot, and come back and get it. Before that, I used to use the one wheel, but it was just annoying to always lug it around with me. You can't lock it up anywhere, and yeah, it's annoying. I live in the city of Philadelphia, and having a small little electric compact bike was just so practical. It was also easy to leave it in my apartment, charge it up, and not worry about it taking up that much space. One of my favorite parts about the bike was just putting my friends on it. Because at first they look at it and they think, what is this, like a kid's bike? And then they get on it, rev that throttle, and just the biggest grin gets on their face. And then the biggest grin gets on my face for seeing all of that, because it's fun to see your friends have fun on products that you enjoy. I don't know if the person who steals this realizes it, but they didn't just steal a bike from me. They stole a lot of memories, a lot of fun memories, and a lot of moments of joy. Sorry if this sounds like a little much for a bike, but it meant a lot to me. I really like that thing, and it's kind of depressing not having it. So sorry for the extra drama here. I'm hoping that by sharing this story, that somebody else out there can learn from my mistakes and just take care of your bike, whatever it is, your normal pedal bike, your electric bike. Take care of it, don't take it for granted, be safe, take your precautions. And Jackrabbit, if you're watching, maybe if you can have some type of key ignition start to it, that would be cool too. Just a thought. Losing the Jackrabbit was tough, but I will always remember the great times that I've had with it. If you've been on the fence of getting one, I can honestly say it's worth every penny. The model that I had was the Jackrabbit OG, which I think was one of their first models. As of right now, of making this video, they are sunsetting the OG, which means that they're just no longer going to be making it. They've recently launched a revamped version of the OG called the OG2, which is basically just the OG1, but just making a bunch of improvements on the original model. So if you want one of those, it's a perfect bike. Or you could also get the OG. I think they have a really good discount on it currently. And if you're in the market for their top of the line model, look at the OG XG. I think that one has like double the range and a little bit more torque to it. A little heavier, but if you're a bigger guy, I think that would be the bike for you. And that is the end of my Jackrabbit OG story. While it was short-lived, I will never forget the fun memories I had with that bike. And who knows, maybe one day I'll be riding a Jackrabbit again. Until then, take care of your bikes, lock them up properly, put an AirTag on them, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.